Hello again, folks, and welcome back to the channel. Well, the last time we worked on the old 93, we put front brake pads on it. That's when I discovered I had some problems, some play in the tie rod ends, 2 or 3 things under there. So, since then, I have bought an entire box of goodies. Idler arm, tie rod ends, Pitman arm, and some sleeves. We're going to replace it all. The only thing we're going to use is the drag link. So, stay tuned, and we'll get right into this, and we'll show you how to put it together. I'd like to remind everybody as we get this video started, we are a family-friendly channel, but our videos are not intended to be viewed by children. Thank you, and here we go. So we're going to start this replacement on the passenger side. Inner and outer tie rod end, the coupler that goes between them, and the idler arm. To get to the idler arm bolts up here, right here, there's 3 of them. We're going to have to go ahead and remove this pan right here, which is just 4 bolts, holds it on. Then when we get that out, we'll be able to take these, separate these things. We won't have to separate this right here. We'll have to separate it loose here, these bolts. So let me get the tools and we'll get that loose. All right, like I said, 4 bolts, you remove this shield right here. There's nothing to that. We've got to take these 4 loose, or these 3 loose right here, I'm sorry. We're going to take these nuts loose and get all this broke loose first, right here. Inner and outer, get all this broke loose. Before, we'll end up replacing this side over here also. There is some play. I've got a Pitman arm and everything to go in here. Keep in mind, this is a 93 model. Used to keep it real clean. It's a daily driver, it's a truck, it gets dirty. So let's get started. I'm gonna get the tools and we're gonna go ahead, take these Carter keys out, break these nuts right here loose, get all that loose. Take the tuning fork and hammer, bust them loose here, get all that everything loose, and then we will take those bolts right here last and drop all that mess out. Now, it'll have to be drove to the alignment shop, so what I'm going to do is get that new tie rod set up, put back as close as I can, and of course the guy at the alignment shop will do the fine tuning. Let me go grab some tools. Okay, I've got the taps off here, here, and up here. This is factory 1993 stuff. This has never been changed, but it's quite a bit of play in here in the steering. A little bit dangerous. I was afraid to go any further with it. So now we're going to take the hammer and the fork, put it right in here. I can't film this. I'm filming this by myself and doing it, so I'm going to have to put the camera down right in here and separate it here, separate it here, and separate it right, here. Then we're going to take these 3 bolts up here out and drop this whole assembly down out of there. So I'll be right back. Okay, now you can see that I've got all these already pecked up, broke loose. Take this hammer, and it all came apart. What I'm going to do is leave the wheels, leave everything setting just like it is. I'm going to drop this idler arm off and bolt it back. We're going to take this tie rod assembly out from under it. Go right up here to the new assembly, and we're going to adjust them as close as we can to the correct length. We'll adjust this one best we can to this length. Now the truck will have to be took to the alignment shop and lined up because tires are expensive. We don't want to wire those. But I'm going to go ahead and adjust those, drop that idler arm off, get ready to bolt the new one up, and I'll show you that. All right, everybody, as you can see, I've got my tie rod adjusted as close as I can to the correct length. As I said, we'll take it to the alignment shop. Right here is, guess you can hear that, 1993 Toyota, never been taken off. It served its purpose well, no complaints. Nothing lasts forever, but we do somewhere. Here, here it is. We have new parts. Let me get everything prepped and bolted up, and we'll go back with the reassembly. Okay, sorry folks. Once again, I am filming this myself, so I'm trying to bring you what I can of the disassembly, reassembly process. But I've got this bolt started. All these bolts are started up in here. I'm going to tighten the idler arm up first. My next step will be, like I said, I've left my tars and my steering sitting exactly where it was. I'm going to go ahead and be as gentle as I can and get the arm, inner and outer tie rods, and the connector sleeve put back up there without moving anything. I don't want to move my steering, so be as close to the line as possible. So once again, I apologize, but it's kind of cramped under here trying to film myself doing this, but I'll be right back as soon as I get the arm put on. Okay, everything dropped in. We've got this. We still got to tighten these bolts here up. Got to tighten this up. Got to tighten this up. Put all the cartridge pins back in, everything. I've already got these bolts up here on the idler arm tightened up. Like I said, it's hard to film with one hand and tighten the bolts, so I've done all that off camera. I'll do this off camera, but remember, check everything. Check all your connections. Make sure your bolts are tight, snug down. Make sure your cartridge keys are in there, cartridge pins. That'll have this side wrapped up. I may tackle this side tonight, I'm not sure on this video, but it will be replaced also. So let's get right into it and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, we got the passenger side all buttoned up. The collar bolts are tight, keys are in, all these bolts are tight and torqued. So the passenger side's good to go with new parts. We're going to move over and we're going to disassemble the passenger side or driver's side. I'm going to put it all together tonight with the exception of the pitman arm. I'm going to have to get a puller to take that off. Its joint right here does not have any play, but I figured while I was into it, I would just put all new parts. That way everything's new. I'm going to get that tie rod end right there all replaced. And I will have to rent a puller. I probably won't get that on camera, but take this big nut here off, set the puller, pop it down off there. I don't think there's no way I can get it off without a puller, but we'll cross that bridge here in a few days. But it will be replaced. Therefore, everything's under here. I may check this shock. Like I said, all this is factory 1993. So 93 to 2019, we're not going to complain about having to put a few dollars in it, replace a few odds and end parts. It's old. It's time. Been took care of. I bought it new in 93. 210,000 miles. The video on the truck shows I have rebuilt the motor. It looks like it's got a small leak right there. I'm going to have to check into that. It does not use any oil. Or none that you can really measure between oil changes, but I'm going to have to look and see what that is. Oh well, like I said, it's a 93. Anyway, let me go ahead and get into this. I may or may not get it on video. I'll see you in a minute. All right, one last shot in the video. I did get the driver's side, outer and inner tie rod end, coupler sleeve put on, attached back to this. It's all ready to drive, safe to drive. I am going to replace the pitman arm. Unfortunately, in this video, I don't have a puller to pull it off of right here. Be as simple as taking that nut off, getting a puller, pulling this, taking that tuning fork and splitting this apart. New one off, old one off, new one back on, put everything back. That's the only thing I'm not going to get in this video, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I do apologize, but we've got the driver's side, passenger side all buttoned up, keys in, everything's torqued and tight. It is safe to drive. Like I said, it will need alignment. I'm not going to take it and get it aligned. Probably not even going to drive it until I get that replaced. Get a puller and do that this weekend. But if you found this helpful, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments. Maybe one of these days we'll get to wash it, but considering it's December, and a whole lot of hope in keeping it clean. Thanks again. God bless. See you on the next one.